thinking that when you were saying that you spoke to your parents about, I feel disconnected. That's quite prescient for someone your age, or that around that age, teenage years, to realise that, because there'd be some teenagers, possibly myself, who would go, I don't know, why do I feel like this? I don't even know if I'm like, maybe we're looking back on it also in hindsight as well, but what made you realise that I am disconnected and I want more connection with friends? Was it just because you weren't being invited to the parties in relation to the church friends or something? Braden, it's the Chip Lunch Podcast.
Stop the rod.
Stop the rod of bad podcasts. Here it is, okay. Chip Lunch Podcast. Welcome everybody. It's great to have you along with us, and great to have you, Braden.
Great to have you,
joining us again on the Grey Lounge.
Grey Lounge.
Grey Chaise Lounge. Is that what we call it? I always think Chaise Lounge sounds like a lolly.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, it's like a type of lounge. Welcome, Brad. Should say welcome to the podcast. Do you know what a chaise lounge is? I'm going to look it up while if you can remember if you have any idea what it is. It's like a chaise lounge. Chaise lounge?
Yeah, chaise lounge.
Two-seat sofa.
French.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's probably just looking for someone to surrender to if it's French.
Oh, it's more like this kind of thing. You know, like you'd be painted in the nude on it.
Okay. So first rule of podcasting, pants on.
Oh, better.
Yeah. Well, it's the news,
hang
not
on a
the
sec.
weather.
I'll be back in a minute.
It's a good rule. It's a very good rule.
Yeah.
It's almost like what you'd call like a sun lounge or something, wouldn't you?
Classic piece of furniture.
Yes.
It feels very French, of course, but like it feels like you were painted on it. You would look. It's on Amazon, this one. The iJuicy Chaise Lounge.
Chaise Lounge?
Chaise Lounge.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like, it's got one side.
Yes.
That you kind of lean, so you can lie seductively.
So what I'm thinking is that you're going to need a pool of sunlight coming in the window.
Yep.
That you'll be lounging back and listening to the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
Yes.
That is a great point.
But we can upgrade the listening experience.
Yeah. Preferred listening experience.
Yeah. With pants on and pants off, Brad. What do you think?
Pants on.
Yeah.
Pants on.
We're not that type of podcast.
I haven't listened to any of those podcasts.
Neither have I. Not on the Chaise Lounge anyway.
It's a spin-off. The spin-off is called not Chip Lunch, it's a Chaise Lounge.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome, Brad. It's good to have you on. Thank you for coming on. You came on pretty short notice, which is great.
It's all right. It's my life. I should be the expert.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'd like to say to everyone. It's like, well, it's the topic you're most expert in is yourself. So come on the podcast and tell us about it. I suppose we can start with the first question. Cheers. How do you like to eat your hot chips?
Well...
a lot of people start with that.
I have been thinking about this. There was spoiler alert. I've watched a few podcasts.
Oh, excellent. Oh, are you a YouTuber or an audio podcast?
Audio.
Oh, okay.
It's the only way I can fit it into my day, and it's illegal to watch a YouTube while you're driving. Mildly illegal.
Just before your hot chip question, what's like your favourite podcast outside of Chip Lunch podcast? Shockers or no?
Yeah. Look, I'm a little bit of an IT nerd.
Okay.
And I work in cybersecurity, so my favourite podcast would be Hacking Humans. And very, very, very close second is the Sands Internet Storm Centre Stormcast. I said all those S's without tripping over them.
So much sand.
Yeah. So it's a great way to keep up to date. It's a great way to fit it into your life.
Just in terms of advancements in cybersecurity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, cybersecurity is changing all the time.
Of course.
And you have to keep up, and you just can't read enough.
Got to keep the hackers out.
You just can't read enough to keep the bad guys out.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get into this later, but cybersecurity, I guess, is like a lot of the time finding out via the hackers finding the hole and trying to close that? Or are you able to figure out the problems before the hackers get into it?
Oh, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both. And the rule that we talk about, it's the African Savannah rule.
Oh.
You don't have to outrun the lion. You just got to outrun the slowest member of the herd.
Okay, right.
We don't want to be lunched today.
Yep.
And so, look, it's terrible to be the person that's caught, and that's why we have a group and a security community, and there's a lot of people who are there to help on your worst day, and see if we can get you back to smiling.
Yeah, right.
But it's changing all the time.
Yeah, it would be.
And it's just one of those things. The bad guys are smart.
Yeah. Can't be a good day when you're the guy in charge and Optus, for example, gets hacked. Like it just can't be a good thing.
Yeah. And actually, one of the things the cybersecurity community is learning is it's actually all about people. It's all about empathy. It's all about humanity. It's all about connection, and it's actually all about community. And I bring so much of what I've learned in my Soli's lifetime, predating Soli's. That's how old I am. I've learned so much about community, about care, about empathy, and just Christian faith. Start by reaching out, start by being there, to give a hand, be ready to help. And so that's so much about what cybersecurity is about, is that community sense.
Oh, that's interesting. I would have thought of that
Yeah.
to be the case.
Yeah, in fact, one of the things we're trying to do is cybersecurity people tend to choose the job because they're very good at keyboards.
And I have to talk to other people.
And they're not so good at conversation. And so part of the challenge is actually how do we help those guys and girls? How do we help them connect? How do we help them feel connected? How do we help them know that they've got a community?
I see.
One of the rules in our community is know who you're going to call on the worst day, because you've got a lot of friends.
Yeah, cool.
You've got a lot of friends.
That's nice.
So yeah, I've learnt a lot from Soul Revival, and I've learnt a lot from our community model. I've learnt a lot from our fellowship model, our sharing of food model, particularly our sharing of coffee model. Coffee powers cybersecurity.
Yeah, right.
He says and picks up his coffee.
No, it's perfect.
It's branded coffee.
Oh. So we got sidetracked. My fault. How do you like to eat your hot chips?
How do I like to eat my hot chips? As the engineer in the room, I have to say I love the tornado fry.
Oh my gosh, what is that? Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh, neither do I.
Interested.
So imagine a potato on a stick turned into a giant spring.
Oh, yes.
yes.
Fried.
Yes.
It is technically a chip. It is just one enormous, long, thin chip.
Yes.
I like that.
And you get that from like events and stuff, right?
Yeah, events or carnivals.
And
or
they're on a
shows.
big stick. Yeah, okay. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and they're on a big scoop.
So that's the favourite way to have hot chips? Yeah. Oh.
That's a new one.
That is a new one.
That's
I've been
impressive.
searching for a new
almost 200 episodes in and we got a new one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I remember chip lunch being started.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh.
a Kirrawee high boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
yeah.
cool.
I remember Stu coming and starting chip lunch after Patchy. Andrew Patch was was at school and doing the
It's like a breakfast club. Did it
Yeah.
start as something like that? I think he took a toaster up there or something, didn't he?
Yes. It solely started with food, and we
Yeah.
upgraded to chips.
Yeah.
One day we'll get to pizza.
Ooh. Pizza lunch.
Pizza lunch.
There you go. Wow. Okay. Do you put any sauce or anything on it? Is there any like things that you add to a tornado chip?
Oh, look, if I'm going to go for a bag of hot chips, I worked for a Dutch company, and the Dutchies taught me the most important thing about consuming chips.
Oh, it's mayonnaise. Pommes frites or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a pretty good combo.
It's hard to go past, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially with kind of the shoestring fries. I kind of like, that goes really well.
Yeah. You just pretty much take the mayonnaise and smear it on your hips, and it looks better.
What?
Say that eating it and waiting for it to go to fat. Just smear it on your hips.
It's like, are you having trouble putting your pants on? In a bit of,
Eating hot chips.
exactly. Yeah. That's right.
These pants used to fit. Then I came on the Chip Lunch podcast.
And then I put mayonnaise on my hips. Like it wouldn't work. Wow. Okay. Oh, salt. Should we get? Can you enter the salt?
Got to be salt.
See how Brad just called it salt?
Well, sodium chloride.
You just know exactly what
Yeah,
it
but
is.
you haven't given him the other option.
But he didn't give us any options. He knows what the options
Chicken
are.
salt, regular salt.
How do you
Salt.
turn a chicken into salt?
See, I told you. That's where he was going.
That is the great question of life.
Yeah.
All good things come from mysteries.
Or chicken.
Or chicken. That's true.
God moves in mysterious ways.
So does chicken salt.
Okay, good. Chalk that up for the
We'd been on a good streak for a while, chicken salt. So that's a bummer. Oh well.
It's still salt.
Yeah,
You're
that's
still
true.
wrong.
The most essential of ingredients is salt.
Yeah,
fine.
that's a good point.
A little bit of sodium chloride, it'll all be good.
I like that way. You're being inclusive to our heathen brothers of chicken salt land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they will be in heaven too.
Just.
By the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, that's it.
Just. There'll be an outer part of heaven, and they'll be working their way in.
What does it say? Like your words be seasoned with salt. I forget where that is in the Bible, but it feels like something Paul would have written. Or did Jesus say it?
Jesus talks about being salt.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Light and salt. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Well, interestingly, that's where salt came from, light.
Oh, go on.
Everything comes from light.
Oh.
There was a big bang.
Yes.
The whole universe started in a hot, dense state. Nearly 14 billion years ago.
I don't know if we have this much time.
I'm like, are we starting with the TV show?
Okay. Let's go on to the next question. Brad, how did you become a Christian?
I was born one.
Oh.
And I was struggling as I was preparing the answer because I know so many people say, oh, look, I've got the most boring of stories because I've always been one. But I think it's the most amazing thing that God granted me that sense of I don't remember a time in my life where I wasn't a Christian.
Okay.
I remember growing up expecting to be a Christian, expecting a life of service. When I was in fifth class, I was going to St John's Sutherland and loved going to St John's Sutherland. All my friends from there, I went to the school across the road at Sutherland Public, and Mum and Dad said, look, kids, we've got some bad news. We're going to plant a church.
Oh.
We're going to have to leave our friends and we're going to go and plant a church. Can anyone guess what church I planted? I've been planting churches all my life, by the way.
No. I was trying to think of something funny. But
it was in the western suburbs.
Oh.
As in Barton Ridge. Menai Anglican Church.
Menai Anglican.
I laid one of the first bricks in the Menai Anglican Church, and Seb's built the barbecue.
Oh, there you go.
Church of England Boys Society.
Oh.
Yeah.
Scouts for Christians.
Okay, right. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. And I've been planting churches all my life. And so, like, born and raised a Christian, but also not long after that, look, I'm a nerd, just in case anyone hasn't worked it out yet. I'm a big nerd. I went to OC class for the smart kids.
Opportunity class.
Yes, opportunity class. And look, everyone got into Dungeons and Dragons. And I feel like I'm going to go a bit Stranger Things on this part of the answer. But there's that sense of, as much as it's a fun game, as much as it's imagination, there's a lot of darkness involved in it. And it's very attractive. And you're starting to go, well, what is it I actually believe?
Okay.
And so part of my Christian life was then actually, as much as being born and raised a Christian, also to make my own choice. And as I came into that young adulthood, in those late stages of primary school, early high school, I realised it had to be a choice for myself. And that was the choice I made.
Yeah.
And so I chose to put some of those things away and to follow God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's been part of my Christian story. And then I guess the other part of Christian story is service. And many people probably don't even know what I do, except for the online attendees, because about once every 4 weeks you'll hear a great mix on Solis Online.
Yeah, right.
And I spent a lot of time on that. And I learnt as a 12-year-old. Literally at Menai Anglican, my dad was playing organ. Dad was playing organ. I learnt to play organ, yes.
Yeah.
And it was Christmas Day, and there was no one to do the second service on the sound desk. And they said, "Smart kid, do you want to give it a go?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And they trained me in the first service, and I did mixing in the second service all by myself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I've been mixing ever since. It's my oldest adult skill. And, well, actually, riding a bike might be, but we'll get to that bit later.
Yep.
Yeah.
I certainly mix better than I ride my bike. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I can stay vertical when I mix.
So, like, you mentioned planning church being that kind of, that's obviously a big core memory in your Christian faith, being in year 5 and your parents being like, okay, this is part of what being a Christian is. We're going to go and plan a church. What do you think that kind of taught you as a younger Christian there? Like what lessons do you feel like that taught you in terms of your parents stepping out in that way and seeing, okay, one of the things Christians do is tricky things or hard things, or not settling or going and helping something else. Like, how do you feel like that kind of informed you as being that young? And do you remember kind of how you felt at that moment? Was it more like, oh, well, all my friends are here. This is like, I don't really know why we're doing it. Do you remember kind of how you felt when that happened as that age, and then reflecting on that?
So that's a little while ago.
Yeah. All that, yeah. We start at the start.
Yeah. And look, I remember it as a sense of grief and of loss.
Right.
And comfort. You know, I was comfortable. I had friends. The Christians that I knew were there.
Yeah.
And I think that learning point was it's a time of choice.
Yeah.
And choosing to be faithful.
Yeah.
And being faithful is always a choice. And so just that sense of, no, it's time to step out. It's time to step out in faith. It is something that we choose to do. It was also a choice for us as a Christian family. It was something that we chose to do together. You know, Mum and Dad were pretty clear that it was a small vote, but it was still a vote. In terms of we could have said no, because Mum and Dad saying, look, if it's going to be too hard, let's not. But the other side of it is let's look at what we could do.
Yeah.
You know, just that I still remember that first church service up in Bangor.
Yeah.
In a garage.
All right.
Yeah, we were the first 6 families in that church.
Yeah.
And now to look at it and to look at the heritage that sits behind that, to meet with Christians from the church, I built that barbecue. We can't take it down, because we built it.
We built it so well.
Well, that's
indestructible barbecue.
It is a mighty construction. There is much concrete involved.
Was it over-engineered?
A little bit.
Yeah. Right. You said that we had a choice. So did you have siblings?
Yes.
Another question.
Yeah. Younger sister, younger brother. And together we were, as a family, we made a choice. Mum and Dad had always chosen a life of service. They'd moved to Papua New Guinea as a Reserve Bank cadet.
Really?
Mum and Dad then were involved in Everyman's, which was Soli's for the young crew in Port Moresby. And they bought a 12-seater Land Rover. Because it was a bus.
Oh wow!
It had actually been used on an expedition to find Lassiter's Reef, and then rescued and moved to Papua New Guinea. And they used to drive 10, 12 kids to church every weekend. And then the Reserve Bank said, "Look, time's up. Got to come home." And Dad said, "Nah." And they moved to Bougainville Island as part of the startup crew. And planted a church and did lots of singing and lots of clapping, and their life has always been one of Christian service, and so that sense of growing up in a Christian family with that model of faith of not seeking comfort, of seeking God's will, and that sense of it's okay to do things that are hard, only God but only God. You know, when you look back, you go, oh yeah, God did that. Oh yeah, God did that. Oh yeah, God did that. Sorry, a bit of a spoiler alert. More of that coming.
No, that's okay. That's really interesting that, like, you're growing up in a different kind of mindset from like what your parents had done.
Yeah.
So I suppose, like, off the back of Braden's question, did you feel like that was coming at some point, given like just moving to a different suburb in the similar area? Did you feel like what your parents had done, did you feel like, we're going to have to do something like this again?
Yeah. Well, what is this moving to a different suburb of which you speak? I've never experienced it once for a year. I moved to Padstow.
Okay. Sorry. Moving church, I mean.
Yeah. But, look, shy boy. And that's the craziest thing. Shy boy. I've been here all my life. I don't technically live in the Shire because you have to cross a bridge to get to my house at Bangor. So it's fine. It's not the Shire.
Yep.
I'm happy to have this as a controversial conversation.
Yeah.
But we've got the nuclear reactor and the tip, and just saying to everyone else, like we deserve to be claimed.
Some landmarks.
Yeah.
Very exciting. But did you know, you didn't thought that something like, even though you were grieving having to move, did you think that something like that would happen?
No,
you didn't? Okay.
Look, as a 12-year-old, it was kind of that first experience of what life could and should be like. And just being that sense of being bold and brave enough to say, well, God, this is your will, and part of your will is to plant, is to help other people connect to you through as a family, and let's do this together. And also that sense of you're not by yourself.
You also mentioned that that decision around Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
How old were you around that time? Because it's important that we talk about that, is that what we always see in this podcast, whether it's Christian family or non-Christian family, I guess, say that like, there was these moments I had to make a decision.
Yes.
And it sounds like one of those times for you. How old were you when you said this, I need to kind of move away from this?
Yeah, so year 6.
Okay.
So 13, 14.
And so what were the things that you kind of felt like these probably aren't helpful for me? So you said Dungeons and Dragons has some darkness in it. Was there some other stuff related to that?
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of magic. There's a lot of light and dark. The dark side can seem to have more power, or more tricks.
It's like more exciting.
Yeah, and well, it also kind of draws you there because there are easier ways, and so it's actually an interesting theological conversation of it seems like there's an easier path, but it's not in the long run.
Yeah. Well, that's like sin, right? Isn't it?
Absolutely, it is exactly sin, and that sin of choosing your own way, choosing your own path, and feeling that you know better than God. And so part of it, in fact, that deepest part of it was reading some of the scriptures about have nothing to do with these things, about witchcraft, about idolatry. It's the story of Israel. Pretty much what happened is God would take them into the land. He'd say, kick all this other stuff out, have nothing to do with it, and then they'd sit and live with it and go, actually, that's kind of cool. We kind of like that, and then end up doing the craziest things because of it. And I think those were the most convincing parts of my life that sort of said, well, hold on, I'm sitting in and enjoying it, but it's very clear not to have anything to do with it. So what if I turned away? And so part of it was just thinking through, so what if I turned away, what would I lose? I'd lose lunchtime connections with my friends at school. It was particularly in OC at Sutherland. I was the first in more than 10 years from Sutherland to actually go to OC. So it was all kids in from other parts of the school. There was a real subculture of the smart kids are separate.
Smart kids are coming in.
Yeah.
In year 5 kind of thing.
Yeah. And you dropped in year 5 and there was very little connection. And so I lost most of my friends. And so I'd made new friends, and my new friends did this.
Yeah.
And so you're worried about giving that up,
So you're worried about kind of giving that up, and then you're also worried about the darkness that kind of comes with it, and running away from the dark towards the light and saying, well, actually, God, I'm here to serve you. What does it mean?
And so that look like, for example, just like, I'm not going to play the game with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How did they respond?
Oh, look, we continued to be friends outside of school. I just did different things at lunchtime.
Okay.
So it didn't feel like an enormous cost, and there were plenty of kids who didn't play. But my sort of subgroup of people who did, I enjoyed playing with and enjoyed friending with and all those things.
So, and I think what you're saying is not that Dungeons and Dragons itself is inherently bad, but it's kind of what sometimes it represented for you as a Christian, and you felt conflicted between the two. So then you're like, I have to make a decision between these two things.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And just that sense and that tug towards.
Okay.
Not being neutral.
Yeah.
That sense of the different types of personality. Chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil. You could choose the evil characters, which then decided your choice of behaviour. Because if you behaved outside of that standard approach, you were at a disadvantage. And so that sense of kind of going, well, which of these things do I want to explore? Which of these things it relates to me and my values.
Yeah, okay. Oh, because I'm asking all these questions because admittedly I've never played Dungeons and Dragons before, so that's why I'm fascinated by it. Because I know there would be other people that we know that would play it, but it wouldn't have the same like dichotomy that you came across as well, which is why I think that's fascinating. So then you're going into high school, so you're planning a church, part of planning Menai Anglican. You said you went to Kirrawee and you kind of got involved.
Because I didn't want to go to Janelli.
Oh, really?
Janelli was a boys' high, and it was rough.
It was still boys' high at that time.
Yeah, I could walk there. It's literally my local school around less than a kilometre away, and I begged Mum.
You just didn't want to go there?
No, so I signed the form that says I don't want him to go to a single-sex school.
Oh, right.
And then I had a choice of Guymer, Kirrawee. I think Guymer or Kirrawee were the two most logical. I could have chosen a few others, but really didn't feel like Guymer was a good fit and wanted to go to Kirrawee, so I went to Kirrawee.
So did you grow up in Sutherland or Janelli?
Sutherland.
Yeah. Okay, so like planning Menai wasn't even just like, oh, okay, well, we live in Menai and let's plant a church in Menai. You were in Sutherland, going to church in Sutherland and planted the church in Menai. That's really cool.
And this is when you had to drive down to the bottom.
That's
and
how
go
I learned
across
to drive.
the small the Warrenora S's.
Oh, I remember the bridge opening. There you go. That'll tell you. I remember walking along it.
So which
as a child.
Which bridge is that?
One of them. I don't remember.
Everyone. So the big one.
Yeah.
What number bridge is that?
I don't know.
Is a hint there? Everyone calls it the second bridge.
I mean, it's third.
It's third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I grew up, it was one lane, and in fact, when I grew up, there was a punt and a ferry across the river.
Really?
From Lucas Heights across to the Bankstown side.
Oh, really?
You used to have to get a punt if you went that way.
Huh. I didn't know
Road.
that.
There's a hint in the name. Old Punt Road.
Yeah.
Because I remember my memories of that driving down there was always I had to play baseball out there quite often. And so you're just like, we've got to leave like an hour before the game starts because you got to like wind down all the way down to the bottom and across and back up the hill, etc., etc. But the original bridge was one lane wide.
One lane.
So you have to wait for cars to come past. And I said, wow.
Yeah.
Painful.
Yeah. Look at what you get to have. Braden.
Standing on the shoulders of giants.
It's a pretty big bridge.
Yeah. I like walking across it, but I don't like walking near the edge. It's so high.
I forget how much I hate heights until I'm walking along there and I'm like, I cannot deal with this.
I think it's also like it kind of like leans out.
Yeah.
There's something about it that makes me freak out about it. And then especially when my kids are on them, like, stay over this side, please. I just can't have you anywhere near a railing. It just freaks me out.
There's a hole on the other side too now.
Yeah. It's too. There is. I think that might be why.
Yeah, you have a choice of death.
Yeah.
Left or right. Yeah. You choose.
Yeah, that's it. So, okay. So going to Kirrawee High.
Yeah.
What's it like growing up there as a Christian? Because I'm sure there would have been some opposition, but you also said that like Andrew Patch and then later on Stu and the guys there doing Ship Lunch. So what's that like growing up from year 7 onwards?
Look, really strong Christian community, but a very small Christian community.
All
so ISCF, the various Christian groups. I don't think I think I went to a few, but for some reason, I just didn't quite connect with some of the Christian groups, or maybe I didn't want to lose my lunchtime. But that's the interesting thing. As we were planting Menai, all my church friends went to Innerborough or to a local school. And so I found myself with no connection. Like they'd go out at weekends, they'd go out at nights, they'd go to each other's birthday parties, and I was just the church friend.
Yeah,
I wasn't the school friend, and I felt very left out and disconnected in church, even though we'd planted the church. And my sister, my brother was a bit younger, but he was still in primary school. But my sister also was feeling that, and so we just sort of said to Mum and Dad, we need to find a new home because I'd like to be connected to the Christians.
Yeah,
and the Christians at school, because that's the friendship that I'm seeking. And so we kind of looked around and said, well, where do the Christians go from Kirrawee High? And the answer was Guymer Anglican. The vast majority of them went to Guymer Anglican, so we just said, can we try? And we did, and we stayed.
Oh, really?
and we had a lot of fun at Guymer Anglican. And so that's how I ended up with Guymer Anglican, pre-Solies.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Was it so? Did your parents stay at Menai, or did the whole family move?
We moved as a family.
Oh, okay.
And even though we were sort of late teens,
Yeah.
it was an important time, and so Mum and Dad chose to move.
Yeah.
They moved with us.
Yeah.
And part of it was also it was time to let Menai spread its wings.
Right.
Dad had been a warden there for pretty much since its existence, and we had a leadership role in the church for a very long time, and part of it was to say, well, not we're done here, but that it can.
Yeah.
It's not here because of us,
Yeah.
but God and only God. Thank you, God, for planting this church. Take your church without us,
Yeah.
and it doesn't need to be us.
Yeah.
And so it's wonderful to see how far it's come since.
So how long were you at Menai then?
6, 7, 8, 9
Yeah.
years.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was just thinking that when you were saying that you spoke to your parents about I feel disconnected. That's quite prescient for someone your age or that around that age, teenage years, to realise that, because there'd be some teenagers, possibly myself, who would go, why do I feel like this? I don't even know if I'm like, maybe we're looking back on it also in hindsight as well, but what made you realise that I am disconnected and I want more connection with friends? Was it just because you weren't being invited to the parties in relation to the church friends, or something else?
Yeah, I think that's the easy way to say it.
Yeah.
My mother has always been into her Christian life, her Christian walk, her Christian development, but also mental development and personal growth.
Okay.
And so she gave me the road less travelled and said, read this. So I did. And that's a lot about the story that you're telling, and it's a time of self-reflection, and then in that kind of time of self-reflection and challenge, going, well, this might be how I feel, exploring that, understanding, and then being able to use your outside voice. Sorry, I've got teenage kids who are probably going to watch this, so
that's all right.
Hi kids. And use your outside voice and say, well, this is how I'm feeling, and it's okay for me to feel this way because it's how I feel.
So you found that really helpful, obviously.
Yeah. And just that moment of self-reflection, of growth, about building language to talk about how I feel.
Yeah. Oh, that's really important. The Road Less Travelled. Is that, what book is that? Sorry. Is that?
It's.
I'm thinking of the Robert Frost poem, because that's what I did in HSC.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where the name came from.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I devalue it by saying it's a psychological self-help book. It's the category that it sits in, but it was a seminal work. It was a real changing work of the late 80s, early 90s. It was kind of the book that everyone, it was the second gospel, that everyone who was looking to grow would read that book.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
They just wanted to obviously think differently, think better. Okay, right.
Yeah. And it was a time when society was starting to say, well, how do we work as humans? Let's find another way.
And so moving to Guymer, did you manage to change what you wanted to change, like to feel more connected and to feel more, to gain more friendships and growth in that way?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The Christians from school weren't always the closest of friends, but built such a great friendship group out of that. That late teenage group, that 16 to 22, as you're going through life changes, as you're finding independence, as you're getting car independence, all the little changes that happen in your life happen at that time, and to do that with a great group of people who were struggling together. We were a very, very tight community. Our youth group name was USA, University Students Anonymous. That was a little bit exclusive, but we're all university students.
Yeah, okay.
And to tell you the truth, we actually fought the Solies movement for a very long time, in terms of we liked what we had.
Yeah, okay.
And we didn't quite understand all age, all stage. We didn't quite understand Stu's vision. It wasn't really until that sort of mid-20s where we started with Adam and Joe Darvell, and we'd go to their place every Friday night. By the way, that parking was terrible. It's Cronulla. and the world's smallest unit at Cronulla. And we'd all pack in and we'd all have a great time.
Yeah.
And that's where Suzanne and I met through one.
So one was for young adults, is it?
Yeah. Sort of uni, post-uni.
Okay.
Phase, sort of that.
Yeah.
Not the late teen age. It was sort of the next step. And Soli's was a youth group. And it was through junior, senior, high, and that's what it was. And we just didn't feel like we were youth.
Yeah, okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We've grown up at Soli's. We've been Soli's all our lives. So it's just an interesting reflection to say, well, actually, we've gotten beyond youth. We've been promoted.
We are mature.
Yeah, we are mature. We're late night.
Yeah, we are USA.
Yes.
Well, I've got a question about that. So you said like kind of the 16 and up, that time is that you had like a group that was going to church but was also going to school. And I know, Braden, that you've shared with me sometimes now, it seems that they're like at youth, it's a lot of people, but they're all from different schools. Because I think about even your experience growing up in youth group and mine was we had a group of friends, just like you said, Brad, we all went to school together and all went to youth together. I'd be interested to see, like, let's just chat about, like, Braden, why do you think that's different now? Is that because people are choosing to go to different schools? You don't always go to the same school in your area, or is there something else that's kind of contributing to that? And like, what are the pros and cons of that? Because I would think about, it was cool that we were like, everyone was at school, and like, oh, you going to youth tonight? See you at youth on Friday nights, for example. Yeah, that's sick. I remember even later we would text each other, oh, you coming to Soli's tonight? When we were in year 11 or 12.
Oh, you had mobile phones.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. Was there only Nokias? But yeah, we were like, see you at Soli's tonight. And like, yeah. And like, that's kind of, it builds this momentum around it. But maybe there's, interested to see what you say, Brian, is it maybe that's harder to build that momentum around a group of friends at your school?
Yeah, I think it's a symptom of people, both, I think people are less likely than even 10 years ago to go to their local school, and even less likely than 10 years ago to go to their local church. I'd say both of those factors. Okay. So like a lot more people go to schools that they're not necessarily in area for, and a lot more people are willing to travel to go to church. I'd say it's both of those things. So like when we, even just speaking when we were growing up, a lot of the people going to Gymea Anglican were from Kirrawee High.
Yeah.
That was one of the local schools. And a lot of the people who went to Kirrawee High lived in Kirrawee, Grays Point, Gymea Bay, those kind of things. And that was a natural flow in. So like I had people that I went to
church at the end of the street.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like couldn't get out of the suburb without passing the church.
I grew up in Gymea Bay. I went to Gymea Bay Public School with a lot of people who then I went to Kirrawee High with, who also hung out at Gymea Anglican at Soli's and stuff. And I think that's just shifted a little bit in terms of you have a lot more people going to schools like Innerborough or Shire. You have a lot more people going to schools that they're not in the area for necessarily. And then you have a lot more people traveling for churches. So I think that all kind of just swaps over to being more schools represented.
So have a
Dame
look
Bank, things like that.
Have a look at the underlying trend, though.
Yeah,
we invented the radio, then we invented television, then we invented advertising, then advertising invented a microculture, a consumerist culture, and the consumer culture became a microculture to the point where the culture was you. It has atomized society
for sure.
And in that atomized society of consumer culture, it's actually one of the greatest troubles as a school board is you have a very high consumer culture of consumers, as in the parents are consuming a service from the school and absolutely they're paying for that service with money. But what is it that they're seeking, and is that according to our values? So I'm on the board of Shire Christian School. That's one of the things that we talk about at most board meetings.
Your kids went or are going there, aren't they?
Yeah. Went and are going.
Yeah.
And so just that sense of consumer culture, which then comes to school and church, which is then you choose the school that's right for you. I'm part of this trend, by the way. I chose the school that was right for me. I chose the church that was right for me. And neither of them are my local church or my local school. I went to Kirrawee and Gymea. I'm a Sutherland boy.
Yeah.
And so that was quite some travel. But that sense of being at the leading edge of that culture about, and consumerism, is it it's okay? In that you're getting the support that you need, but then to choose that support over service. And that's kind of where we started, is support over service. And that was the choice that we were given. Be with your friends or serve God. And sometimes God calls you to do something difficult and make new friends. Yeah. By the way, that's hard.
Yeah. And maybe,
for us nerds.
And you can tell me if I'm wrong, but maybe it was why you held on to the kind of trying to stay in, just keep your group pretty like consistent as you were growing up and finishing high school as well. Because I'm feeling like, because you've mentioned a couple of things of just like the disconnection you were feeling with church, but also even with the OC class, was that I just want a bit more consistency with my community and friendships. So when someone like Stu comes in and goes, "Oh, should be friends with old people," you're like, "No, thanks."
we were the old people.
Yeah. But I'm feeling like that's one of the reasons why you might have been resistant originally, that you wanted to hold on to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Community is entirely valuable. If you look at the academic study of community, communities have an inside and an outside, an us and a them.
Yep.
And you unfortunately see that in some of the worst stages of history, leaders creating an us and them. But that sense of, well, we're us, and it's valuable for us to be us because we can be relaxed, we can be comfortable, we can pay it forward, we can get it back, and that sense of ongoing trust. So community is actually genuinely very important.
Yeah.
But think about it, it's actually how God created us and how he raised us is to be in relationship.
Yeah.
And sometimes school is great for like every year is like for developmentally, as you grow up, kind of like, let's say 5 to 18, you go through very distinct stages, but very quickly as well. So I think sometimes as we grow up in school, as we come out of school, we think, we have to continue that. Whereas like we're talking about all age, all stage at church, is that like, no, I can be friends with someone that's 5, or I can be friends with someone that's 80. But I've been conditioned almost through school to go, that's not how I should live when I finish school.
Absolutely.
And I think that probably played into a little bit. But so my question, I suppose, is what changed your mind about, like, from being resistant to kind of some of the ideas Stu was talking about in those early stages to going, actually, there might be something in this?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is that you get to a point where as much as you enjoy the community that you have, the life that you lead changes. As in, you become employed. I graduated as an aerospace engineer. I was offered 2 jobs overseas.
Awesome. Let's talk about that in a sec.
Yeah. My nerdy T-shirt. I was offered 2 jobs overseas, but I actually chose to stay because of my commitment to service in the church.
Yeah.
And so I'm not an aerospace engineer by practice now. I work in cybersecurity instead. But just that sense of choice and change in terms of there's not quite a large enough population in any church that you'll find your potential partner in that. So there's a lot of people dating people from other churches, and then that becomes a choice about, well, where do we go together? Do we go to this church? Do we go to a new church that becomes our home together? So that just that time of change, and as you're going through that time of change, that group loses its critical mass. And so what we did with Adam and Joe, say, well, no, this is our church, this is our place. Stu, Adam and Joe, is strategically say, well, we need a community for people of this age, of this type, that looks like this, but let's make that part of the Soul Revival community this time. And that sense of, as it's replanted, it became part of Soul Revival. And so we would do what every Soul did. We would turn up, we'd come to commitments, we'd do Saturday night together, and then we would go and do our thing. Or we'd have our own place as well. And that just made an enormous amount of sense.
Yeah, right. And was that an exciting time for you? Like, I suppose you were a bit sad that, again, that kind of disconnect happened if people are moving away and stuff, but did this kind of seem as like an answer or solution to something you've been looking for a while?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we can look back at history and say, well, I'm still here.
Yeah.
We're all still here. This is 30 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Solis Kirui, and I love the long poster on the back wall.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of,
the big timeline.
When did you join Soul Revival?
Yeah.
There's not a place on the timeline for when I joined Soul Revival. I've been here that long.
Yeah.
Greg Crawshaw. Hey, Greg. Greg was my youth minister.
Right.
It was my youth leader. Sorry. Stu was the youth minister, and Greg was my youth leader.
Yeah.
That's how long we've been doing this.
Yeah. Oh, that's really
back when Greg was youth.
So when you let's go back. You're finishing school at the same time, right? And with people from uni. But you said you did aerospace engineering. So what's the thinking behind doing it? I find this fascinating. Why did you want to do aerospace engineering?
So my dad was is an accountant and has worked in finance all of his life. I'm a child of the 80s. Let's be really, really clear. I'm a child of the Shire and a child of the 80s. And so growing up, I aspired to be a stockbroker.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
Greed is good.
Yeah, greed is good. It's the way you make money. And so Dad would, I was the same age that we were planting Menai Anglican. I was just fascinated, and Dad would bring the Financial Review home every night. I'd read it cover to cover. I had my stock picks on the back. I had my little portfolio going. That was me. And then Warren Brown, SEBS leader from Gymea, was a member of the Institute of Engineers. He came to do a talk at Kirrawee High in Year 10, and he's talking through all the types of engineering. He starts with civil engineering. Do you have a deep and abiding love of concrete? then this may be the choice for you.
Yeah.
Quite bored at this point, and we start to move through other things. Do you have a deep and abiding love of mathematics? Then maybe electrical engineering. And he gets right to the end. He says, "Oh, look, I've only got 2 minutes left. There's one that I've missed out on, but you can do aerospace engineering or aeronautical engineering." I'm like, "You can get a degree in planes," and my life changed.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, "No, I'm getting a degree in planes," and so I went and did that. And double degree in maths, physics, and aerospace engineering.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Because that was my gap year. My gap year was studying third year physics and third year maths. Because I'm just that kind of nerd.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you have like aspirations of doing something, designing planes or desiging aerodynamics and all that stuff?
Yeah. My thesis, I designed a rocket.
Okay.
Osrock 3. I did the structural analysis of the joints using computational analysis, which is why I work in computers now. I worked with computers at uni. I actually taught myself to program in 1981 on a TI 99-4A in BASIC and saved my programs to a cassette tape.
Cassette tape.
That's how long I've been
Not
doing
even
this.
Not even a floppy disk.
No floppy disk. Though that's the later stages.
I remember the big floppy disk though. That's probably the furthest back I can go.
10.5. Yeah, then 5.25 or 2.5. Yeah. I remember those days as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was just that stage after we stopped smoke signals and banging rocks together.
Banging rocks.
Yeah. We used to bang the rocks so that we could make the smoke signals. It creates fire.
Very nice.
So yeah, kind of living in that cave and coming out of that cave and kind of going into IT, going, well, I love IT, but I love planes more, and got a degree in planes, and designed a rocket. The dean of the faculty handed me my thesis back. I'm like, oh, this is going really well. When the dean is booking in a meeting with you, he goes, "Mr. Bush, here's your thesis. You've received a credit, so honours for you. Congratulations. I don't normally do this, but I need to inform you of something." I'm like, "What?" "Your thesis is classified under the Ballistic Missile Proliferation Treaty. You should not discuss it with foreign nationals."
Oh, yes.
I designed an ICBM.
Did you mean to do that? In a sense? Oh, right.
Well, it has the capabilities to be used as an ICBM. I designed the rocket to do research, and it is a very, very powerful rocket and very good at doing research, but it could also be an ICBM.
If anyone, an intercontinental ballistic missile, right?
Yeah. Okay. And the even funnier thing was he said, you should also consider that your first degree, which you've already graduated from, includes nuclear and particle physics. Mm-hmm. You may wish to be careful about where you book your holidays, or you'll meet some men in some very badly fitting suits.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
So there's some countries I've chosen not to visit, shall we say.
That's funny.
Okay. Wow.
How did you...
You didn't expect to talk about this on
No, I like
No,
it though.
it's great.
I like it though. It's great.
How did you... And this is spurred on, like we chatted to Jairus last week, who's just finished his HSC. And you were talking about like your friendship group during this time was really fun and really solid at church, which is excellent. But you're also talking about like quite a high level of study and really enjoying that. How did you find that balance? Because this is often something that people can struggle with a little bit during that shift time. How did you find the balance between quite a high level of intense study and church? Like, and
Which is quite a low level of intensity.
No, well, just like just trying
like
to figure out. Well, now my time priorities are really mine. You're a young adult. You get the choice of where you're going to spend your time and what you're going to do. How did you find that balance as someone who's academically obviously loves academia in that kind of way, but also was trying to figure out how to best love and serve God in that situation too?
Yeah, so we were all nerds together. Hence USA.
Yeah.
We were all uni students, and we were all high performers.
Yeah.
and so that was part of the crowd.
Yeah.
We had many people who weren't doing uni, by the way. But,
Yeah.
which is why we needed to change the name.
Not the. No, you sounded like foreign nationals going, "Oh, we're the USA."
It's better that. Oh no, hold on. The internet's forever. Can we edit that bit out? I have nuclear weapons. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Interestingly, the small group that we were in, there were four of us. Actually, it was all age, all stage. We had a 35, 40-year-old guy, a couple of 20-year-old guys, but it was my job to go and buy the study book. And I went up to Coorong at Sutherland. And
the word.
Sorry, it was Word at Sutherland.
That's all right.
And Word, and I'm looking at the study books and just going, done that one, 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 done that. That one's not interesting. That one I'm not sure about. Like the theology was a little bit off.
Yep.
And I'm just walking through and going, hold on, there's a specials table. The specials table has a stack of 4 really big books on it. Grudem's Systematic Theology.
Oh, banger.
And so we studied our way through Grudem's Systematic Theology.
That book got me through college. It's a very good book.
It is a very, very, very good book. And
imagine the work that went into that. I was peeking at Braden's last week because he wasn't here. I'm like, oh, was it last week? You'd left it on the table, and I was like,
well, as you do.
This thing is crazy.
Grudem is excellent because he's one of those very gifted people who is unbelievably intelligent, but is a very good communicator. So can explain very complicated things in ways that are very helpful.
In steps that are simple.
Exactly.
Einstein. If you can't explain it simply, you haven't understood it well enough. He understands it well enough to explain it in a simple,
perfect way of putting it.
way.
I see.
Yeah.
Genuinely beautiful. And so we all enjoyed both the struggle and the time of young men challenging each other.
Yeah.
And saying, well, what is it we believe? Let's work our way through. Let's share what we believe.
That's really cool.
And so we actually absolutely went deep nerd on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went deep nerd on it. And so that's kind of the answer to the question of bring life to faith, bring faith to life.
Absolutely.
And let us engage with our faith. And so it was right for us. Not everyone was comfortable in that group, by the way. But we didn't intend to be exclusive, but at the same time, it's those moments where we can challenge each other and grow. And so that's what we were seeking, is to challenge each other and grow.
Can you remember what was the thing you would take out most of that time in terms of your Christian growth?
I've watched Mum and Dad struggle through life, through changes, through employment, through choices of employment. My father chose to live in China for 4 years when I was at uni.
Wow.
And he lived in far northern China in Yanji, in the Jilin province. He was offshoring, outsourcing, manufacturing, moving in Australian technology to build panels, to build factories. And he enjoyed it, but that it was a time of struggle and loneliness and disconnection for him and for mum, but he chose that for the family. And then his final step in his career, he was the operations lead for World Vision in Mongolia. And when you take him from Papua New Guinea to Mongolia, they're very different climates, but just that sense of learning from my parents, of their struggles, of their faith, of their life, and spoiler alert, but God. Yeah, there was no moment in there that they organised themselves, but you can keep seeing it's a constant theme through the Bible of this happened, but God. Isn't God used it for his glory, God used it for his strength, or it happened until God intervened. And you can see all those things in my parents' life, and looking back on my life, I can see all those things, all those moments in my life, and those but God moments. I thought, or I planned, or I did, or this was a struggle, but God.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he's going to use me to do.
How much was the phone call to China?
It was
Because this is pre-Zoom.
yeah.
Every Zoom, FaceTime,
and
and always the delay. You always got the delay.
Oh yeah. Satellite shots. Yeah, it was going up by sat. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, actually, when Dad was in Mongolia, IT nerd moment, he was really complaining because Office 365, the email wasn't working from the US to Mongolia. Most people around Mongolia really want to own Mongolia, and so you can't run cables across other people's countries. And so the only way for Mongolia to talk to the world is to send up to geostationary satellite and back down.
Jeez.
That even for light, that takes a little while.
Yeah, that's right.
Sub-second, but you do that often enough, it gets really slow.
Yeah.
And so I had to work with him in their IT department to explain why some of their systems weren't working. It's because they were designed to work in a data center, not across the globe. So they made some choices. Yeah. Rocket scientists.
Yeah, that's right.
Have to explain the speed
Can't
of
you
light.
just send a rocket up there to shoot down the satellite to show them that, hey, you should just run a cable?
Yeah. Well, we could. Yeah. It's a long cable. It's a long cable.
Oh, come on, I'm sure your big brain would be able to figure out a way to do that.
Oh, well, now we can have a cybersecurity conversation about some countries trying to cut other people's cables. But
So just to go back to the running through Grudem's systematic, is it not systematic theology? You said that you related to your parents of a struggle. So was it a struggle, or it's just that you didn't want to struggle in the way that they did?
Oh, no. So my answer is, but God.
Yes.
And those times of my life that have been a struggle, and well, spoiler alert. Let's get to the spoiler. So let me tell it as a story. I'm a fit guy. I was a fat kid. I lost a lot of weight by becoming a fit guy. I weighed over 100 kilos. I've now become fit. I became injured in becoming fit in various ways and end up taking up push bike. It's an early Thursday morning and it's cold. You know, those moments when you're running or you're riding and you can feel your ears burning, like it's cold.
I should say no, because I don't do that.
We get up early one morning, you feel your nose gets cold.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you know, sun's just coming up over the horizon, a beautiful morning, and I'm just coming past the tram museum, the bike track at Sutherland.
Yep.
They have, about a month ago, before this, they just opened the bike lane. And the cyclists used to call it the Crystal Mile. People used to actually break bottles along there trying to pop people's bike tyres because they hated the bikes. Because it was such a narrow road and the bikes all rode in there to get coffee in Sutherland, and there was a lot of friction between drivers and cyclists along that stretch.
I'll just say we're jumping forward quite a bit in history.
Yes.
So this was a couple of years ago, rather than
This is
the
recent.
90s where we were. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So this is this is this millennium.
Yes.
No.
Crazy.
We've come into this millennium already.
Charging in.
No more banging rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you think time works that way? That's so cute. Oh.
It's a flat circle. Anyway.
Yeah.
You just upset an aeronautical engineer, aerospace engineer. That's right.
Yeah. It's all good.
Fire a missile at Braden's house.
Yeah.
Sort it out.
That would be
Nietzsche's
fine.
house, but anyway.
So riding back into Sutherland, the bike lane's just been open. I'm feeling completely safe, but I'm looking for the hazards. Where are the glass? Where are the sticks?
Yeah.
There is an illegally parked car in the bike lane, the brand new bike lane. It's actually a ute. I didn't notice said ute. I probably should have been paying more attention. Let's just say that out loud. But I went back through the back window. I severed both jugulars in the carotid. I broke my neck in 3 places. My face was so badly crushed, in order to reconstruct my face, they 3D printed a model of my head. Titanium, and titanium.
Wow, this is quite that, and that's quite similar to what Jamie experienced as well, right?
Jamie and I have had many long conversations because we've had a very shared journey.
Yeah, totally.
And so I was unconscious for 16 days. Part of that, wearing the helmet saved me on my bike, but I had a severe bleeding in my brain and a severe traumatic brain injury. I was unconscious for 16 days. Why am I here? I've severed both jugulars in the carotid.
Yeah.
First aider, she was an off-duty police officer. Second first aider was one of my running mates. He had his son in the back of the car. He grabbed 3 nappies and pushed down hard.
Wow.
The third first aider was running on the track opposite. She was an off-duty ER nurse. And the 3 of them called it in so well. The first ambulance, 4 minutes and 32 seconds.
Wow.
And this is peak hour. This is 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I was going to
Peak
say
hour.
that. Yeah.
Up the highway.
Yeah.
Up that highway down to Wollongong.
Yeah.
4 minutes and 32 seconds. Had the only trial dressing in Australia for major arterial bleeds. It was a battlefield dressing that they were trying. That ambulance had it.
I know you've told us this story before, but I didn't know that. That's crazy.
The next ambulance, about 6 minutes, 40-ish seconds, had the ER doctor on board. He was doing a swap shift and doing experience.
Really?
And look, the first aiders called it in so well. They knew what I needed, but I got the right help. And so that's part of the spoiler alert and the but God, as you say, well, I should not be here. I should be walking with my Lord. And I should be asking Jesus all those tough questions from the upcoming sermon series. I really want. I've got some questions for him.
Yeah.
Mostly they're related to physics, but
Yeah.
why that one?
Why is it that?
and why integration, Lord?
Yeah.
Why integration? And so like if there was a time, it was that time, and then every surgeon, every doctor, everyone involved gave me their best. And like I remember a couple of flashes through the time of waking up and going, look, I don't hurt. Why do I keep waking up in hospital? I want to go home.
Yeah.
By the way, I've got a broken leg and a broken neck.
Yeah.
And I keep waking up going, nothing hurts.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. I want to be home. I miss Suze. I miss my kids. I just want to be at home.
Right.
And these are just tiny little flashes in 16 days of unconsciousness. Yeah. I've been told this. I don't remember it. I apparently did a sit-up. Got out of bed.
Like, whoa, just working out.
Yeah. Like got out of bed and decided to go home. It took 4 nurses and 2 security guards to get me back in bed. At that point, they decided that sedation might be in my future.
Yeah.
And so I slept a bit more. But just that sense of, oh, wow, it happened. Oh, it was an accident. If it was my time, if it was intended to take me away, it could have. It probably was just an accident. But look at all the things that could have happened for me and for my family. But God, God put those 3 people, His messengers, at the right place at the right time to do His will to save me.
And the ambulances stuff. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I then sort of remember waking up. And so the way they wake you up is by causing you a little bit of pain. So either pressing in your nail bed or rubbing your chest. And I just remember, Brad, it's time to wake up. You've had an accident. Try not to move too much. Going, oh, what happened? Oh, why am I wearing this around my neck? Oh, Brad, you've hurt your neck. And eventually I got to, you broke your neck in a few places. And my next thought was, oh, hold on, I can wiggle my toes. That was my one of my first conscious thoughts was, I can wiggle my toes. There's a really good chance I'm going to be able to walk.
Yeah.
And so that was my first goal, was walking to the toilet unaided. You go, the little things that you get back.
Yeah, it's a good goal to have.
Yeah, and it was a properly good goal. And just that sense of going, well, hold on, I'm awake. I have big goals. I want to be well. I don't feel that bad. I want to be well. But God, what do you have for me? And so I'm going to need some help along the way. And then the other one was, well, God, why am I here? And those early days going, hold on, if it was my time, just where we started this, if it was my time, I'd be walking with the Lord. Part of it, even, and sorry, this is going to be a bit hard to hear saying it this way, but God, why didn't you call me home?
Yeah, you'd be like, why did I have to go through this?
Yeah, well, if there was a choice, I would prefer to be walking with you. But then the other side of it is, why am I here? And I know I'm not done. I'm not done being a husband. I'm not done being a dad. I don't think you're ever done being a dad. Like, my kids are pretty much adult now, but I'm still not done being a dad. Yeah. Watch Stu's parents coming to church. Pete's still not done being a dad.
Yeah, totally.
I've met Stu.
It's also what my parents tell me. They're like, you don't stop being a dad or a father or a parent after even if you've grown up and you've got adult kids. They still say, we still worry about you. And I'm almost 40.
Yeah, well, and my parents have got good reason to worry about me.
Yeah.
And there was COVID, so they couldn't even come and visit me in hospital. My kids couldn't even come and visit me in hospital. So that sense of, why am I here? I'm not done yet. Then the next big sense, and going, well, I must be here to do something for you, Lord. What is that? I can't wait for him to reveal it to me. But he hasn't shown me just yet. And so I'm in this stage of not wandering, but walking through life, intentionally walking through life, a life of service, a life of faith, a life of work, a life of life of training. I run marathons still. All these things are in my life, having goals and working towards them. What the last 5 years has been about recovery, having a big goal. I don't want to leave anything on the table. I'm taking it all back, but only with God's help. You're talking to a guy who's recovered from a severe traumatic brain injury. And hopefully that's a surprise to everyone watching the podcast. You probably had no idea till I told you. And just God's blessing of giving me that freedom, but giving me that recovery and putting all the right people in my life. There's so much rehab for me to get back here. I'm hating the sound of my voice. You occasionally see me sipping. My left vocal cord is paralysed.
Really?
Severed the nerve that drives that part of the face and that vocal cord.
Oh, right.
No one knows.
It's when it was cut. But yeah. Yes, I didn't know.
No one knows. I can't yell at the kids anymore. That is the Lord's blessing to them. But yeah. So having a big goal, desiring to recover, and that I can't wait to see what God has for me. But even in those early days, I laying in bed in hospital going, well, why are you here? Or why am I here? And the clearest thought I have is to tell my story. So thank you for letting me tell my story. Because hopefully this leads to someone having, only God can use my story. And God has given me my story. And so I tell my story, a dangerous story about having a brain injury. People who meet me will now see me differently. But I will boldly say that it's God's gift to me, is my life and my recovery. And I'll very happily say that my job is to tell my story and to tell about God in my story, because I wouldn't be here without him. So you didn't know you were going to have that in chip lunch, did you?
Oh, I knew some of it, but I didn't know all of those things you said. Can I ask you a question about the accident itself?
Yep.
How fast do you think you were travelling?
So I can tell you exactly. It's on Strava.
It's on Strava.
And in fact, the police did the most important thing. They stopped my watch. So I was going 52 kilometres an hour, about 20 kilometres an hour from it, 20 metres away from it. And you can see me hit the brakes really hard and swerve just to the right, trying to avoid it. So I obviously saw it a little bit too late. I was probably going just north of 40.
Right, and because you said it was a ute, so you've hit the back tray or whatever.
And it had glass. It had a back cover over, over the tray, canopy, and I went through the canopy.
You went through the canopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
and because obviously if you hit it with the front of a bike, you're going to get thrown across over the top of the handlebars as you hit it, and then you're going to get straight through the glass, like you're saying.
Yeah. Straight through the glass like that. I was obviously turning away.
Yeah, you must have been turning away to try, like you knew it was coming, right?
All down there.
Yeah.
So I must have known enough that it was what was likely to happen in the very near term.
Can you imagine? Can you remember anything that just before that accident? Like, I'm just wondering. I'm wondering. You know how sometimes, for some reason, in certain situations, and I've had this occasionally in my life. Like, if you're going to kind of have a car accident or something, I'm just wondering, do you remember, you know how like your brain almost slows down time? Because some sports stars talk about this, that they've so practiced this stuff that their brain in certain moments slows down time and they can do things really easy. It's like someone puts the video on slow-mo. Do you think that happened for you or not so much? Or you might not be able to remember it?
Yeah, look, it's a great question. And I really wish I had the answer. Most of what I've told you is reconstructed. And the memories are a crazy place. And part of coming to terms with what happened is trying to understand what must have happened. I've lost. So there's a thing called traumatic amnesia when you have that kind of brain hit. Your brain actually doesn't get a chance to lay down memories.
Right.
And so I've got no laid down memories of that. I've lost I've lost the week before it. I've lost most of the year before that, and I'm pretty spotty on. I'd say up to about the 10 years before that.
Really?
It's
have you done testing for that to try and understand that?
Yes, lots and lots and lots and lots of testing about short term memory, medium, long term. I'm just telling you about the faces and the stories, and so telling these stories about my early days. And remember, we just did this time jump into the current millennium. The earliest memories are so strong.
Yeah,
I can picture people's names. I know their names. I know their faces. I remember times. Memory's actually really crazy. You got 5 senses, but we're very visual people. We're doing the YouTube version, not the audio version, and so people tend to describe what they see.
Yeah.
But actually one of the most powerful triggers for memory is smell.
That's true. I agree with that. I reckon that's definitely true, yeah.
So when I'm remembering chip lunch, I'll be remembering the taste of the coffee that I had.
Yeah.
Smell and taste are actually really strong. And you remember when I started my story, I hacked the system a little bit. I told you it was cold. I told you about how it was feeling, and I told you about some emotions. These are ways to make stories memorable, storytelling. But yeah, so some of those things are just amazing moments. Like in the early days, it would feel like my brain was fizzing. I mean, literally, it would feel like it was fizzing. Because I'd meet someone and I'd go, look, sorry, I got nothing. And they say, we met and we talked about, and then it would all come back. Oh yeah, it was a really hot day. I remember that and I remember the taste of the wine, or I remember the taste of that was the one where we had those sparkly things in the atrium. Or
has that been heightened since the accident? Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah, as just it's not gone. It's still there, but some of the connections were lost.
Yeah, it's different way.
Yeah, so the brain was kind of sheared in half a little bit, and so I lost some of the connections between some of the places of damage are on the back, which does visual spatial. Yeah, actually, I talked about the physical injuries. One of the brain injuries was I lost the ability to read people's faces. And
emotionally kind of thing.
Yeah, so Suze would say to me in hospital, Brad, you're staring.
Okay.
It's putting people off. And you're asking people, like you're being really verbal. And hold on. It took me a little while to work it out. I'd lost the ability to read faces. Now, some of that's healed and come back, and a lot of it is hard work, a lot of staring, sorry.
It's all right.
But 100 little micro expressions.
Yeah, which we don't realise that we use to like make sense of the world and what's happening in that particular time. Right?
Yes. Yeah. And both of your phases did little things that showed care, concern, interest, carry on. And I'd lost all of that. I would have had to have asked you 5 years ago.
Right.
And so it's really weird to live in an injured brain.
Yeah.
So like a great example is if you're going to, if you're at school, you're going to go write something in your book, you just pick up the pen. You don't do every little micro instruction for your fingers about it. You just pick up the pen and you start writing. Yeah. So imagine that with something that you know how to do, like recognise the emotion on people's faces, an important social cue.
Yeah.
Well, you learned that before you were writing, for example, right?
Yeah. And so you look at it and you just go, so my brain would reach for it, just like picking up a pencil, and then it would go, oh, hold on, that didn't work. And now it's too late.
And now you're like, and you've got the delay, and you're trying to figure out why it didn't work.
Yeah, and just go, And so I've been, the other great gift God has given me is a lot of empathy for people whose brains work differently to differently to the average, and maybe differently to mine, and just to live in it and go, hold on, that doesn't work. Oh, this is how I felt, and this is how I was taught to describe. This is how I was taught to disclose. This is how I was taught to deal with the emotions that come with it. It's okay. I graduated as an aerospace engineer. Some of those things are gone, and it's okay for me to grieve for that.
But you find that tough, I would say.
Yeah, I find it very tough. Because even coming here today, getting here, I came to Miranda. That was autopilot. To get here, I used to work at Westfield in Maya, but to actually get here, I got lost in the last 3 turns.
Really? Okay.
I had to get to Google to actually get me in the front door. And that's a very common experience for me. So macro, my brain still works, but micro, it doesn't. But I'm an aerospace engineer. I'm qualified to design planes. And you can go, oh, hold on, that was my superpower. I miss it. It's gone.
Of course.
And I'm not letting it go. So this is where we started. I'm not letting it go. I'm taking it back. I'm asking God to give it back to me. But I'm never giving up. And the brain is a very plastic place and keeps rewiring itself. And so some of those things I've gotten back. So I'm not in the place that I just described, but still little bits pop out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a really interesting journey, but we aren't talking about faith. We're talking about God in terms of what God's given me. And so I think that's really why I wanted to share my story. Thank you everyone for listening. It's that sense of, but God, like what was it meant for? What was it intended for? What happened? But what will God do with it? And I'm on this side of it going, I'm so excited. I can see God's hand in it. I'm enjoying every moment since. I'm struggling with some of those moments, but I still can't wait to see what God's doing.
Yeah. Have you seen, because it came, originally we talked about like you choosing to get Grudem's systematic theology, and you wanted to talk about it, like so much about it, but God worked through that regardless. And now as you've shared what happened with your accident, and that was about 5 years ago, is that right?
Yep.
So what have you seen God do?
6.
Yeah, 6. What have you seen God do
Five.
in those last kind of 5 or 6 years already? Like you're saying that what He's going to do. What have you seen so far?
Yeah. So God has made me bold in sharing my story, and even in a professional context, I would have really struggled to talk about my faith, to declare my faith, my Christianity. That kind of separation of work and life and fear about sharing your faith. And so when I tell the story, as I just told it then, I do a keynote speech in the IT community where I talk about it. I talk about my angels in terms of those who God sent at just the right time. The ambulances, the first aiders, and I deliberately say the word angel because you'd be surprised how many people then want to have a chat afterwards.
Yeah.
and it gives me a moment, that wedge to enter into a conversation of life and faith. I'm not preaching from the front, but I can certainly share of the story of my faith and my belief in the why I'm here. It is but my job to tell my story and to show God in my story, and maybe someone else will seek that.
What can you tell us? You don't have to name people. What's the conversations been like?
Yeah, I think just that dedicated interest. So like we all want results. We're humans and we all want results. But part of that older age piece of life and experience is I might have been a step on someone's journey. And my story might have been a step on someone's journey. It's not my job. It is absolutely not my job to convert them. That's God's job, to bring them to faith. But that God might use me in their story. Wow. And of course, like all of us, I pray that I'll be there at the end of someone's journey too. I've not had that moment yet, but that sense of it, I feel like it's only done when someone's come to faith just after my talk. No, that's never happened. But many people have been open to talking about their faith, about their story, about their journey, and turning it into actually a story of God. And so it's allowed me to have those much more personal conversations with people I've just met. You don't have to be friends for years. You now have a shared experience, and you have a moment to be part of someone's journey towards their faith in God.
Yeah. And so yeah,
but God.
Yeah, but God, right? Because that was the question was, what have you seen God work through? That's a lot. He's doing a lot already, like you're saying.
Yeah, but it's Him.
Right.
It's Him. It's not me.
I really encourage the way that you so much of what you say in regards to the accident is just, it was all God. God was doing it. I really like that.
Yes. Yeah, and it's the toughest thing to say because it's a hard moment. And many people watching the podcast will know someone who's been through something similar, and they may not have both their life and their recovery that I have, and it can be a very hard conversation. In fact, one of the things I do at the end of my inspirational keynote is I share, it's not the day I almost died, it's the day I found out about my new superpower. I'm clearly immortal. I would have preferred invulnerable. It would have hurt much less.
Yeah.
Flying would have been so much more fun. And why do I do? I wouldn't do that in America, but I do it here because I've just been at the front and I've told a powerful story. I can laugh about it, so you can talk to me. And so for anyone who's watching, this can bring up a lot of things. You can talk to people. You can talk to our pastors. You can talk to me. You can reach out to Lifeline or other places. Please talk. Don't hold it all inside.
Yeah, well, I suppose with something like a brain injury, it's not just a traumatic injury event. It's also what's after it.
Yeah.
And different people will experience that differently, whether it was themselves or even it's someone that they know or love. Like that's I can understand why you're saying that too, because it's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And many people don't get God's blessing that I have in terms of my recovery. God has blessed me with an exceptional recovery. My favourite new medical term is extraordinarily high functioning. The diagnosis for me is no one can believe. Even the specialist, my neurologist, who specialises in brain injury, no one can believe what I have. And so, please, I want to focus on that as being God's gift. God's gift in this process has not been my injury; it's been my recovery. And what He's given me is a story to share about Him and my faith and my journey. I keep relying on Him.
Well, keep relying on Him. That's a perfect way. We might wrap this up as part one of your podcast, and then we took it.
What else can we talk about?
We took quite a turn from talking about where you were, kind of just finishing uni. So why don't, for part two, we'll talk about that and how God's continued to work through your life. So we'll do that.